Hi there, and in this video I want to show you how super quickly you're going to be able to actually add a virtual joystick to your Godot game. In this case, with this virtual joystick you can move to wherever you want, and for example you can also have here another joystick that will actually modify the angle of your object. To make this as simple as possible, let's firstly go to the asset library here at the top and look for joystick. You're going to be finding a lot of add-ons, but the ones that I believe that is the easiest one is this one, virtual joystick, okay, with this icon by Marco Facio, okay. So you click over there, press download, and leave it here, press install, and once again here install successfully, okay. And now if we go to the 2D environment, here in the add-ons we'll find a lot of things. First of all, this includes a test scene that this is ready to be played, so I can run this scene, and this is the scene that you saw a second ago. But as you can see, when we run, we have here to modify some project settings. So basically we have to go to project settings, then we have to find over here pointing, and basically emulate touch from mouse, enable it, and disable emulate mouse from touch. If not, this is not going to be working correctly. So now once again I can move with this one, and I can also change the angle with this other one. Now, in order for you to actually understand how this is going to be set up, I'm going to be doing this from complete scratch. So first of all, I'm going to create here just a main scene so that we see how everything is set up. Then I'm going to be using a canvas layer over here, because inside of here I want to instantiate the virtual joystick scene. The other scene that we have here is the test that, well, we saw a second ago, so we don't want this one. We actually want the virtual joystick scene. So there we have it. And lastly, in the main scene, I'm going to press Ctrl A to add a new node, or you can press over here to add it, it's the same. And I will just add a sprite, okay, in this case, but it can be whatever object you want, because I just want to display here the Godot icon. I will also drag it over here, and I will call this one player. Now, if you go to the test scene, you will find that this player has a script, okay. So I will basically go ahead, press Ctrl A to select everything, and then Ctrl C to copy this code, and then I will just attach here my own script, and I will press once again Ctrl A to select everything, and now Ctrl V to paste it, okay. So let's quickly analyze this code. We have here a variable, okay, that we can modify, that is going to be handling how fast our player moves. Then we can assign a joystick left and a joystick right. This is helpful for when we actually want to change, or well, when we want to use two joysticks to change both the direction and the angle. And then we have basically the move vector, that this is the variable changed with the actual input that we are providing. So basically this is already set up as it should, so you shouldn't have to modify anything. And actually, if you just have one joystick and you want to move around, you don't have to assign joystick left and joystick right. You only have to assign it if you want two joysticks. So if you wanted to have another joystick, okay, so I have created a copy with Ctrl D. Now the result that we would get would not be the corresponding one. We want to change the angle with this one, for example. So for this, we will need to assign, this one is my left joystick, this one is my right joystick, and now when I play this scene, with this one I move, and with this one I'm changing the angle. And here you can see something quite interesting, and that is that the angle is being changed at the same time that I am moving, okay. So why is that? Because also in here virtual joysticks, okay, we have some options that we can modify. So here in virtual joystick 2, we want to disable use input action, okay, because if we actually enable input action, it will also move our player, and we don't want that. We want this virtual joystick 2, which is the right one, to just do not take into account directly the input action, because we don't want to actually move, we just want to rotate. So now this one will only modify the angle itself, and this one will actually move. Now also, if you want, there are different options that you can research on your own. I am not going to explain them because they are just as simple as basically playing around a little bit with them. And also you can hover over here and more information about what this actual option is going to be doing. And if you don't understand anything, just start tweaking the values and you will understand what that option is actually doing. So well, with this you're going to be having a super easy setup for using a virtual joystick. And of course, just as a small disclaimer, if you are actually wanting to do this exact same thing but using Godot Mobile, basically the mobile version of Godot in your own mobile phone, you can still do it, okay? And of course you can always go here inside of the player and modify here the code. Maybe you want to change, you only want to have one joystick, okay? And you want to, when you move, you want to make this this player look at the different at where you're actually moving. If I'm moving to the right, well, maybe you want this icon to rotate to the right 90 degrees. If I'm going left, maybe you want this to be rotated this way. I don't know, you can code that behaviors because they are quite simple. So well, this was just a quick overview. If you actually want like a bigger tutorial explaining these things and even more, let me know in the comments down below and I will do it kindly. If you're serious about leveling up your Godot skills, check out my course. In less than 6 hours, you'll master Godot fundamentals while building this amazing project. Links in the description. See you there.